Not quite the hero of the common man, the Maximus 9 Hero is still priced just slightly above what we've thought of as the typical high-end segment. It's still cheaper than even the cheapest premium market Z270 motherboard we've tested, so perhaps Asus is creating its own niche? Rather than load up the Maximus 9 Hero with a 40 gigabits per second Thunderbolt 3 controller sharing the same 40 gigabits per second chipset link with every other onboard device, Asus loads this ROG series board with two 10 gigabits per second USB 3.1 controllers and a bunch of overclocking friendly features. The top of the overview image above shows the MADTECH button, which temporarily limits memory speed to allow booting if you've configured memory poorly, without forcing CLR_CMOS, several buttons on the lower edge to assist tuners who use open platforms, and two buttons on the I/O panel that make it easy to reset your firmware configuration, CLR_CMOS, and program the firmware IC without the need for a compatible CPU or DRAM, USB BIOS flashback. We also see an obvious gap next to the I/O panel buttons, where it appears Asus left out the intended Wi-Fi module to justify the Maximus 9 Hero's sub-premium pricing. The previously mentioned internal buttons and switches include power, reset, safe boot, retry, the slow mode switch, and the L2 jumper. Retry forces a hard reset, and safe boot allows users to boot up using default settings while retaining their custom settings in the firmware GUI. The manual says slow mode clocks the CPU down to allow LN2 overclockers to manually overcome the cold bug phenomena, and LN2 mode switches from slow to user configured clock settings automatically following post. The sole USB 2.0 front panel header combines with 4 proprietary control pins when using an accessory Asus OC/panel overclocking controller. The Maximus 9 Hero includes an incredible number of fan headers, though Asus doesn't list them all that way. 2 of the 8 PWM capable headers are designated high amp for pumps and extremely large fans up to 3A. Asus recommends using only PWM mode for fans greater than 1A, and no speed control for pumps greater than 1A. Another 5-pin header connects to Asus accessory fan extension card, which can be purchased separately and used to add another 4 fans. The top front corner's MADTECH button resides next to a 2-digit postcode display and 4 activity LEDs that indicate CPU detection, DRAM detection, VGA detection, and boot, post completion. The LEDs help users who can't easily decipher postcodes figure out which device stalled the boot process, should anything, such as an overclock, go wrong. Beneath the MADTECH button, the threaded 3D mount secures optional covers, aesthetic components, that users can 3D print from model files available on the Maximus 9 Hero microsite.